at 7, gets the fresh. Demons, Rick Owens, usually what I'm dressed.
Alright, man, what's good? It's your boy cashchaosss in the game and the smooth ever do it, man. I'm glad to be back, y'all. And today we are doing Rakim Mayers, other known as ASAP Rocky. We're doing a little different this time. I do not have my phone. My phone broke, unfortunately. Nonetheless, we're gonna get these videos out to y'all, man. So let's get into it. ASAP Rocky is probably one of the most biased and experimental rappers there is, alongside Yachty as well. He was born in 1988 and raised in Harlem. Growing up in a city like Harlem does, in fact, influence you style-wise, because he did grow up wearing a lot of Nautica, Ralph, Tommy Hilfiger. The main brands that were kind of like, I guess you would say, not technically luxury yet, but are on that high-end scale when it comes to, I guess, commercial clothing. He said in an interview or an article that in 2005 he was in like Prada and Dolce & Gabbana, basically like trying to be like models and stuff. Because he wanted to be a model, I'm not gonna lie to you, he did speak about like wearing skinny jeans and stuff. And as y'all do remember,
we used to buy like girl jeans. We used to buy 7 jeans that was for women's, but we used to wear them skinny. We started the skinny revolution. I know you looking at me crazy like y'all niggas did what?
Now we wondering how did it all start?
You breaking it down. Because if you think about it, like
I thought Pharrell started the skinny jeans.
Nah, like if you want to be technical, like Dior started skinny jeans.
Christian Dior?
Christian Dior.
At all. I didn't know Christian Dior make jeans.
Yeah, they make denim.
I'm out of the loop. I'm going to continue though, sir.
Nah, so basically like back in like 05, 04, 05, Hedy Slimane was the creative designer, creative director for Dior at the time. He used to look at like the Australians and how they used to cut their jeans like new. I'm only explaining all this because I'm drunk, and besides me being drunk, I'm trying to give y'all the origin, how it started. But to make a long story short, that's how I met them ASAP niggas. Like they was just like all them dudes was wearing like skinny jeans and shit, and like they used to like have a different style and like a lot of fitted shirts and just t-shirts, dirty jeans, sloppy Joe, and all this other shit.
Skinny jeans, baggies were in around like the 2000s. Then like later in the 2000s, skinny jeans started to come around, and even in the 80s and 90s and stuff, baggy clothes are pretty in style. But Rocky ended up being on that before anybody else. And I'm not gonna lie, around the time when streetwear was like that built up hype, Rocky was into high end fashion. Back to him seeing models and stuff, wanting to be a model because all the high end models were what Tom Ford, Gucci, LV. But even as a kid, like I said, Rocky had pretty much a lot of swag. Rocky did have his own style, he had his own twist on everything. Wearing Gucci belts as early as his teens, wearing chains as a top. And I ain't gonna lie, even wearing Montclair coats, and then this photo with Naka. I ain't gonna lie, man. Rocky's always been different, and I think that's what makes people respect him as a artist and also as a figure in the fashion world. Just to give you like a kind of timeline, every artist tends to change throughout their albums and music, which is similar to how people change throughout years. Like you go through certain things. So in 2013, Long Live ASAP dropped. This is what put Rocky on the map in regards to being an icon for just not even fashion, but also just being more so a different sound. In 2012, he's wearing Y3. In 2013, he's wearing a Sean Slauson sweater. I think that was around the time he got invited to like fashion shows. In 2014 and 2015, Rocky starts getting more recognition, not only for his music, but for his style as well, because he's starting to pave the way for what basically the type of things that we have today. And Rocky, you're seeing modeling in like these European / kind of like foreign fits. Like I said, Rocky's style Rocky is not put in a box. Rocky can go streetwear, he can go model shoes, he can go any which shop. Being limit himself to a box. Same thing as Yachty, if you've seen Cardi as well. Most of the time artists do change based on the year they're in or the time period they're in regards to their album or just given life things that are going on. For example, when Cardi was making Dalit, he was kind of off the internet a lot. It was cryptic, it was black fits, it was a lot of Rick. Same thing with here. Rocky wore a lot of fits that brands from Y3, HBA, Pyrex at the time, which is one of Virgil's brands. And a lot of Gucci, Dolce & Gabbana, Montclair. The brands list goes on and on, but and also rocking Supreme as well, and Jordans. Jordans was really big at that time. I ain't gonna lie, if you didn't have a pair of Jordans, what were you doing? I didn't get my first pair until I think like 6th grade. I had the Motorsport 4s, and then my second pair was the What the 4s. Comment below what shoe you had. What was your first Jordan? I want to know. And like I said, even in the music video of Peso, he also is talk about Raf Simons, Rick
Owens, usually what I'm dressed in.
Raf Simons is a brand. I will be putting up what they are. I mean, if you don't know what Raf Simons is, just go do some research. Same thing with Rick Owens. If you don't know what Rick Owens is in 2026, But nonetheless, man, I'm not gonna knock you because everybody's trying to learn. So, like I said, let's keep diving into the Rocky style. So from 2015 to 2021, I'm gonna be real. This is where it took a very, 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 very uphill turn when it comes down to like everybody's getting into fashion, or streetwear was that one of those ones where it's like it was bridging the gap between being a broke kid and being able to afford things to building a community. So, and he also came around in the likes of Cardi, Ian Connor, Bloody Yo, Lucas Sabat, and being on Instagram and being known for clothes was like you had pieces. You didn't just have a clothing brand; you had real pieces. But it was more so like people were fly; they had their own unique style. Everybody wasn't trying to fit in. You're gonna do me, and you're gonna respect me, and that's what Rocky did. These outfits that I'm about to put up on the screen, I'm gonna just show you that this the versatility and the simplicity that he also has, because Rocky doesn't just base it off name brands. He bases it off silhouettes. He bases it off style. Because Rocky is a slimmer figure. He's also not like the tallest, but he's also not the shortest with his hair. Because everybody knows Rocky for the braids. Let's be real. So in 2015, I think he was on stage. He had this jean outfit. I believe that is Guess, if I'm not mistaken. Because he had, I think if I'm not mistaken, he did do a campaign for Guess. Even in 2016 MTV Performance, I believe Cardi was there as well. He did have on Gucci head to toe. He had Kurt Cobain when he went with the under sleeve stripe tee, a stripe long sleeve, by the way. And like I said, Rocky, he had on a scarf, or I guess a scarf. And that's one thing about Rocky as well. His jewelry, even when he didn't have a lot of money or the fits weren't crazy, as you can see in music videos and also just interviews, Rocky's always had beads, or he's had glasses or chains, something simple, not everything flashy. Even when it comes on the bags, he also mentioned that once before, Goyard, he had a Goyard bag, or Goyard belt and bag, or whatever the case may be. But he got that from Pharrell.
Fiasco, Inigo, or who I saw wearing Goyard when I was a kid growing up, and nobody kind of wore it. A few times I saw Kanye, but nobody really was into it. By the time I got older, Pharrell was into like Moy Knot.
Time Goyards was not that popular. If you knew, you knew, basically what I'm trying to say. 2016 Reading Fest Day, and his performance, he had on Needles. That's another brand as well that was that Rocky does tend to wear a lot. If it's the sweats, if it's flannels, if it's shirts, if it's and as you can see in the video later on too, he does wear Needles as well. But Rocky does like to blend style. He likes to blend streetwear with high end. He doesn't really stick to one per se, but he does like to blend them for sure. In some of my two favorite fits, 2017, he decided that he was going to Big Puffer. The Big Puffer is pretty crazy, I'm gonna be real, but it does have swag. It does. Picture you can see, Rocky looks like he's walking in New York. I mean, obviously, he has on Thrasher top. A Thrasher beanie, Thrasher sweatpants, and those are Air Jordan 1s. He did say those Air Jordan 1s are kind of the only Jordans he likes wearing.
Air Jordans.
Someone told me you only wore 1s and 4s when you were growing up.
Yeah, how do you, whoa. You on some narwhal shit.
And if you look close enough, he has in grills or goals, whatever you want to call it. That's another staple as well. Like I said, Rocky does attend to accessorize a lot. So if you do want to up your style, not gonna lie, go find you some accessories, man. Go to the flea market, shop on Amazon, go shop somewhere, find you accessories. You can find anything on the internet. Try Depop for sure. Depop has great jewelry options. And try to go to your local flea markets or local markets to see if you can find some good gold and silver, by the way. So shop local, just feel a fit. Again, like I said, Rocky does tend to wear, regular things, but Rocky doesn't make it regular because that's just not in his character. A lot of things people decide to wear, if it's name brand, like y'all make it corny and all. Bro, stop being corny, bro. That's another thing. Stop being corny. You don't have to be corny to be fly. You don't have to be corny to be yourself. Bro, just do you. Fila is not a big brand. Fila is sold in Walmart, literally. But he still made it cool because at the end of the day, it's how you swag it. It's in you, not on you. Like I said, he still decides to pair it well. Fila tee kind of tucked it in, and I believe those are also Fila pants, no Fila shorts, with some Filas. And he also has on the jacket. It's like a fur type of jacket with, of course, some shades. Man, at the end of the day, the braids do make the fit. Because if it was a regular fit with a ball fade, I ain't gonna lie, it might look crazy, but it's Rocky at the end of the day, and that's how you find your style. Rocky has been able to maintain a type of composure and style with all his fits due to him having braids and him having accessories. So find your two. Have your hairstyle, get your accessory, your main piece, and then find your aesthetic from there. Because at the end of the day, the clothes don't make you, man. You make the clothes. 2018, So he has on this wrap fit. This wrap fit is pretty. I'm messing with it. You know what I'm saying? He has a wrap knit on. My bad. Wrap fit, wrap knit, same difference. Wrap knit. So he had this wrap knit on, man. As you can see, this is not look traditional, but like I said, Rocky makes it work, and he wears pearls. Rocky does have like a flamboyant style as well. He does not care about it being male or female. He's just gonna do what he wants to do. You will see that later on as well, given his style. So around 2018, if you do not remember, Rocky was about to drop his new tape called Testing. This is where he ended up going on like a rampage of just wearing not to say weird fits, but got in very much into like crash dummy things, wearing Prada and all sorts. Even here around this time, he is, this is Ian Connor, but you can see the streetwear influence with the Yeezys on. Right here he has on the unit ones. Then you got the jeans in his testing bag, and like Rocky makes it work. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not about how much everything is. And I know I used to do in my videos the cost of things, but I'm gonna still do it. But I'm gonna do the work, the least cost, mid tier, and the highest cost. Because at the end of the day, you can find all alternatives for this. Fakes. If you are one of my fans, supporters, family, do not buy fakes. Just go get an alternative, or find an Instagram brand that makes bootlegs and makes it at a cheaper price. Don't buy fakes. Come on, man. And like I said, 2018 around this time, he's back into like streetwear type of mode, getting back to the roots, getting back to some brands that I guess he has close tight knit with, because a lot of the brands blowing up as he was blowing up in his career, HBA, Pyrex, I3, just many brands that he encountered, he ended up having a good relationship with. So I think Needles, he has a good relationship with them as well. Then you have the Lowy beating shirt. High-end brands, like I said. Then you got the WHD Awards, and what is he dressed in? Rick, of course, because like I said, man, the silhouettes really do fit Rocky. So Rocky doesn't play into one or two; he plays in it all. 2019 Gucci show. Rocky decides. This is so crazy to think about that. What he's wearing right now is what it's a trend that people started wearing again. But as you can see here, man, he does have on loafers, on some trousers, a hoodie with a blazer. I think that's a blazer or the cup. I don't know what you call that, but nonetheless, he mixed two worlds. He mixed a comfy world with a business type, sophisticated, and he pulled it off very well. He does experiment a lot, and that's the reason he's so successful in his music and also fashion-wise, because he decides that he's going to challenge himself all the time. But Rocky's always been a poster boy for many brands, alongside V-Lone. Like I said, streetwear was coming up crazy. Off-White was on that as well. V-Lone and Off-White, man, it was pretty crazy. And y'all know Virgil is pointed at LV too as well. But in 2016, Rocky also became one of the first black male models to walk a Dior runway. That is big. Hey, man, clap it up for my boy Rocky, man. Let's do it. Clap it up for my boy Rocky. And shout out my boy Alton Mason as well. I think he's the first black superstar model, if I'm not mistaken. I don't want to butcher that, but shout out Alton as well. 2018, he had a Under Armour collab. With that being said, Rocky also has a collab. Like I said, he's the poster boy for a lot of brands. So if he rocks with you, man, he's gonna actually like put the brand in a good place. And people say he copied those Osiris's, but Siege's on everything stolen. So should be a better thief, I guess. But Rocky's always said that he never really wanted a brand. He just continued. He wanted to kind of be like the behind the scenes and kind of style things, do whatever. Into your insecurities and your shortcomings, Rocky had ended up getting a cut on his face, which led to him rocking a babushka around his head, in which everybody, I think Frank Ocean was the one that kind of tweeted "babushka boy" or something like that. At point forward, Rocky made a song about it, and it just went viral. Like, Rocky takes the risk, like a babushka or whatever. That's like a kind of like you see a female wearing that, or a woman. Rocky, like I said, does do a good job of blending lots of aesthetics and lots of different genres of, from the casual, from the slacks to varsity jackets, which he does wear a lot as well. All right, so with that being said, man, we move on closer to 2021 present day. This is around the time Virgil Abloh did end up passing away. And shout out R.I.P. Virgil, man. He had created a lot of opportunities for a lot of business owners, people in fashion, just in general, paved the way for a lot of creators and fashion designers, and also black men that wanted to, do something in life. I guess you want to call it that. But yeah, he did a lot. So shout out Virgil, man. R.I.P. But Rocky was never really scared to play with color. Like at a 2021 Met Gala, he wore an ERL sheet. I think that was a pretty bold move as well. I think he was with Rihanna. This time him and Rihanna kind of had their little thing. In his GQ magazine, he's going more edgy. He's pushing boundaries. Like I said, Rocky reminds me of a very flamboyant but swaggy person. He doesn't care about all that. Oh, that's gay or this is gay. Like he doesn't care about that. Because at the end of the day, Rocky's gonna do him with no albums really about to come out yet. Rocky leans towards more business-like than fashion, meaning like he starts to dress more so his age. That's not a bad thing, but he doesn't lean towards the youth anymore. But later on the line, like I said, 2022 kind of switched it up because he is about to drop a new album. But he does drop a song called DMB. In that music video, a couple brands I do want to mention in that video are he does have a Stephon Cook denim set, denim in the jacket. Well, and he also has on a Surprise football shirt. He does have that on twice. Pretty good. I want that jersey, by the way. Ole! Now move forward. 2023. Rocky does, like I said, Rocky has a lot of collabs. Rocky gets a collab with Vans. Rocky did wear Vans a lot in his early career. I'm gonna be real. As a superstar or artist, I think the brands you wear the most are eventually going to reach out to you once you kind of stamp yourself into their brand. Slowly stepping out into fashion, and he's debuting his album or his rollout for Riot. Now Rocky is partnered with Puma because Riri is partnered with Puma as well, so I think it would be a good mix. But in Lollapalooza, Rocky wore all OG merch, and I don't know. He said that he probably wouldn't have a brand, but this is around the time where he starts to produce and kind of put out a brand of his own, or at least a taste of what he would like to see into fashion. And now moving forward, with that being said, a lot of his fits are very much that focused. They're not really streetwear driven. It does have a dab of streetwear, but Rocky stays away from streetwear just a tad bit and focuses on more dad look, more of a cool dad, like an ASAP. Let's say ASAP Rocky wasn't really a dad, but like he's a dad. He really a dad now, but let's just say he wasn't like a dad for real. That's how he dresses. He made his debut at a collection for fashion in Paris, man. Y'all know that's where we trying to go. But yeah, he made his debut in Paris, man. It was a pretty good show. I'm gonna put some clips on there. As you can see, Rocky's style, taste, everything he shown in that runway. And even like I said, high-end brands. Rocky is not a newcomer to this. He ended up doing a Bottega campaign. Like I said, the dad look was very good on him. But he's Rocky at the end of the day. I remember him as being young and braids, and, being Riccardi and all them, and V-Long and all that, and LV, whatever. But like I said, Bottega is to step up. He's always doing campaigns for different brands, and also just keeping his foot in fashion, just keeping just like dippy toe or whatever. Even having his own drink, he's been spreading out the business endeavors, but he's always probably gonna stay in fashion if I'm being honest with you. As you can see, he has on this unreleased LV jacket, which is crazy. Shout out Pharrell, man. Pharrell is now on it at LV. 2025, him and Yachty are neck and neck. I'm gonna be real. And still high-end fashion at the Vogue and the Met. He won CFDA's fashion icon. I'm not gonna lie, that's a pretty good accomplishment for Rocky, being a music artist that has won multiple awards for music, but now they're running in fashion for your creativity and your out-the-box looks. That's a pretty good accomplishment if I do say so myself. And even at the Miu Miu show, like I said, that dad look does come into play. Like I said, he's getting older, man. He has kids, he has a wife. At the end of the day, it's still in him, not on him. So now we move forward to the present day. Rocky has dropped the album now. It's a pretty good album, I'm not gonna lie to you. Had a lot of good features on it and everything, man. He's always gonna have his foot in fashion, no matter what it is. His creative directing, if it's just being a friend or a house or whatever it is, Rocky's gonna always be in fashion. He is the face of the Chanel campaign, the most recent Chanel campaign, which I think is pretty cool. Like I said, man, Rocky's going through the tears from being Dior and coming from where he come from, doing what he did, to be the weird kid and all that. He pretty much kind of beat all the odds and kind of show everybody who he was as a person and artist. He just announced a tour recently, so I'm not gonna lie, man. Y'all need to expect some crazy fits. He's gonna play his creativity. He's gonna be on tour at many cities, many countries. So, man, I want to see how many fits, what good fits he has, and how he's able to, basically bring that dad and that rock star kind of like that dad edginess to the stage. Rocky did was what most won't do, if that's being a male, being on his flamboyant side or embracing his flamboyant side, or even being a black male trying to get into rooms or do things that can't even be done, that aren't normal or accepted in that community. ASAP Rocky was known for going against the grain, known for being one of those and being a trailblazer when it comes to fashion and style, even music. He's the reason a lot of people are where they are today. Same thing as Yachty. And I mean, this video is fashion, but it's not just about fashion. It's about embracing who you are, being who you are, and actually, finding yourself in regards to music, fashion, style, whatever makes you complete. And that's what Rocket has done. If y'all enjoyed the video, man, put a like, give a comment who I should do next. And love y'all, man. Stay sane, stay fly. New Clear Noob is here, man. We out.